In the heart of a tribe ruled by tradition, Nyara harbors a secret love. Torn between duty and her true feelings, the decision she makes will change her life forever. When her hidden secret is finally revealed, the consequences ripple through not only her life but the lives of everyone around her. Can love truly destroy everything? Or was their fate sealed from the very beginning? In the heart of Africa's dense jungles lived a tribe called the Mwanga. This tribe coexisted with nature and carefully preserved its traditions. The tribe's leader, Moab, was a wise and just man who knew how to guide his people through difficulties. Life in Mwanga was full of peace and tranquility. The people were united, holding on to shared values like respect and loyalty. Among these people was a girl named Nyara, known for her beauty and grace, but Nyara harbored a secret deep inside her heart. Nyara was a girl who had captured the hearts of many young men in the tribe. With her bright eyes and charming smile, she was always the center of attention. But despite her calm and confident appearance, Nyara was gripped by deep anxiety. She was soon to marry a warrior named Kano, a man who was celebrated as a great hero. Nyara knew she was expected to marry Kano, but her heart belonged to another man, someone she could never be with. A great day arrived for the Mwanga tribe. The tribe's leader, Moab, announced Nyara's engagement to Kano, a brave and trustworthy warrior. This news spread with joy and excitement among the people. Everyone hoped for a bright future for Nyara and Kano, expecting that this marriage would strengthen the tribe's unity and power. However, Nyara felt conflicted inside. Her heart was already given to another man, a man she secretly loved, hidden from the eyes of others. Nyara was in love with a man named Edimo. Edimo was the tribe's healer, a man who used his wisdom to help the people and held a respected position. Nyara had loved Edimo since childhood, but due to their differences in roles and responsibilities, they had never been able to reveal their love. They secretly met under the moonlight by the river, expressing their feelings for each other. Every meeting was like a dream for them, but this dream would soon turn into a nightmare. As the wedding day approached, Nyara's doubts grew. She didn't know how to choose between the love she had for Edimo and the duty she owed to her family and tribe. On the one hand, she didn't want to lose Edimo, but on the other hand, she couldn't betray Kano and her tribe. With each passing night, Nyara's anxiety deepened. She knew she would soon have to make the final decision, a choice that would change her life and the lives of those around her forever. One night, during one of their secret meetings by the river, Nyara shared her doubts and anxieties with Edimo. She confessed that she didn't know how to deal with the situation. Edimo, concerned for Nyara, reassured her that he would stand by her no matter what decision she made. But Nyara knew that whichever path she chose, she would lose something dear. She was faced with an impossible choice she could not escape. The wedding day was quickly approaching, and the tribe was preparing for a grand ceremony. Beautiful dresses, delicious food, and countless gifts for the bride and groom were being prepared. The entire tribe was looking forward to the event, hoping for a memorable day. Yet, with each passing day, Nyara felt more conflicted. She could not push aside her hidden love for Edimo and had no idea how to handle the situation. As the wedding day drew closer, the tribe brought numerous gifts for Nyara and Kano. Gold, silver, jewels, and beautiful clothes were presented as symbols of respect and affection for the couple. The tribe was full of excitement for this special occasion, wanting it to be a grand and memorable day. However, for Nyara, these gifts only weighed heavier on her. She knew that no matter how valuable these offerings were, they could not silence her hidden love or relieve her doubts. As the wedding neared, rumors began to circulate among certain members of the tribe. Some were envious of Nyara and Kano's happiness and couldn't bear to see them together. Behind Nyara's back, whispers about her past and her relationship with Edimo spread. When these rumors reached Nyara, her anxiety grew. She didn't know how to face these whispers or whether the tribe would trust her. These rumors hinted at the impending revelation of her great secret. Nyara grew closer to making her final decision. She couldn't shake off the heavy burden of her secret. She remembered Edimo's suggestion that they should run away together and start a new life far from the tribe. But Nyara couldn't easily leave everything behind. She was loyal to her family and her tribe and didn't want to abandon them in this situation. Yet her love for Edimo was too powerful to ignore. Nyara faced an impossible choice she didn't know how to resolve. The night before the wedding, Nyara sat in her tent, deep in thought. Her heart was full of doubt and anxiety. She knew tomorrow would be a decisive day, but she wasn't sure if she could go through with it. She thought of Edimo and the love they shared and couldn't imagine life without him. However, she also didn't want to betray Kano and her family. That night was one of sleeplessness and overwhelming anxiety for Nyara. If you have come this far and you liked the video, be sure to like the video and let's continue the story. The wedding day arrived and the tribe gathered for the grand ceremony. Nyara walked towards the venue with trembling steps. All eyes were on her, and everyone expected the day to be unforgettable. Kano stood proudly beside Nyara, hopeful about their future. But inside Nyara, there was a storm of emotions. She didn't know how she could get through the day. She felt as though everything was about to collapse, and she couldn't escape that feeling. The wedding ceremony began with traditional prayers and songs. The tribe's leader, Moab, stood before the crowd and spoke about the importance of love and loyalty. He asked Nyara and Kano to pledge their loyalty to one another and to their tribe. Nyara felt she couldn't take that vow. Her heart raced and her hands trembled. She couldn't swear loyalty to Kano when her heart belonged to another man. This moment was a decisive one for Nyara, a moment where she had to choose between love and duty. In that pivotal moment, when Nyara was supposed to pledge her loyalty to Kano, she realized she couldn't do it. Standing in front of everyone, the words wouldn't come out of her mouth. Her hands trembled, and her heart felt the weight of her decision. She thought of Edimo and realized she couldn't continue with this marriage. She knew that if she took the vow, her entire life would become a lie. This was a moment of crisis for Nyara, where she had to choose between her love for Edimo and her duty to Kano and her tribe. In a moment of resolution, Nyara decided to reveal everything. With a trembling voice, she confessed that her heart belonged to another man. She admitted her secret love for Edimo and asked the tribe for forgiveness. Her confession shocked everyone, and the crowd was stunned. No one could believe that Nyara had made such a decision. Kano, hurt deeply by the truth, couldn't speak. His eyes were full of anger and pain. This was a pivotal moment for the Mwanga tribe, one that would change everything. Should Nyara have revealed her love for Edimo in front of everyone, or would it have been better to remain silent and continue her life with Kano? Write me the answer in the comments. The tribe was thrown into shock and disbelief. No one had anticipated such an event. The people looked at Nyara in amazement, unable to comprehend her confession. Kano, feeling betrayed and hurt, stared at Nyara with rage in his eyes. He couldn't believe that Nyara had given her heart to another man. The people of the tribe were torn, uncertain how to react to the situation. This was a moment of crisis for the tribe, a time of confusion where no one knew how to respond. Kano, filled with anger and hurt, glared at Nyara and then turned to confront Edimo. He accused Edimo of betrayal and deceit and demanded that the tribe's leader punish him. All eyes were now on Kano and Edimo, waiting for the leader's decision. Kano couldn't accept Nyara's betrayal and wanted justice. Edimo, on the other hand, stood silent and confused. He didn't know how to defend his love or whether he even had the right to do so. This was a moment of uncertainty and despair for Edimo. Moab, the tribe's wise and just leader, was caught in a dilemma. He didn't know how to balance love, scandal, and justice. On the one hand, he knew that Nyara's betrayal of Kano and the tribe was unforgivable, but on the other hand, he believed that true love couldn't be ignored. He asked the tribe to wait until the next day for his final decision. The chief's decision carried great weight, as the fate of Nyara, Edimo, and even Kano rested on this decision. The event caused a division within the tribe. Some people supported Nyara and Edimo, believing that true love should prevail, while others felt that Nyara's betrayal was unforgivable and deserved punishment. This division threatened the unity of the tribe and shook its values and beliefs. The people were torn, and each side pleaded with the chief to make the right decision. This division put the tribe in a state of crisis, where everything they held dear was at risk. That night, Nara and Edimo were left in solitude and darkness. Nara felt as though the whole world was against her. She didn't know what future awaited her and Edimo, or whether the tribe would forgive them. Nyara lay awake in her tent, thinking about her past and wondering whether she had made the right choice. She didn't know how to escape this crisis, or whether their love could survive this ordeal. The next morning, the people of the tribe gathered again to hear the leader's final decision. Everyone waited anxiously, unsure of what would happen to Nyara and Edimo. Chief Moab, with a serious expression, stood before the tribe and announced his decision. He decreed that Nyara and Edimo must leave the tribe and never return. This decision was painful for many, but it was accepted as justice. Kano, hearing the decision, felt a small sense of relief, though his heart still ached with pain and anger. Nyara and Edimo, with broken hearts, bid farewell to the tribe. Many of their friends and family wept, seeing them off with heavy hearts. Nyara couldn't bear to look at the sorrowful faces of those she loved. She felt as though she had lost everything: her love, her family, and her home. Edimo too, left with a heavy heart, heading into the jungle where they would begin a new life. Their farewell was bitter and full of sadness, something they couldn't easily overcome. Life in the jungle wasn't easy for Nyara and Edimo. They struggled to adjust to their new surroundings, facing loneliness and isolation. Edimo searched for medicinal herbs to help Nyara, but he couldn't free himself from the heavy burden of guilt and doubt. Nara too felt that her decision had been a mistake. She couldn't let go of her love for Edimo, but she couldn't escape the guilt of betraying Kano and her family. This life in exile was a difficult and exhausting one for both of them. As time passed, Nyara's feelings of guilt grew stronger. She couldn't escape the heavy weight of her emotions. Every night she had nightmares about her past and the failed wedding. She couldn't stop thinking about Kano and her family. She felt that her decision had been a terrible mistake and had ruined everything. Edimo too was troubled by the situation but didn't know how to help Nyara. He knew that their love wasn't what it used to be and that everything was falling apart. Nyara and Edimo's relationship gradually grew colder and more distant. They no longer talked as they once did, and their love faded under the weight of their struggles. Nyara felt that her decision had been wrong, and she couldn't see Edimo the same way as before. Their love, once warm and passionate, had now become a distant memory. Edimo also felt that their love wasn't the same, and he couldn't escape the situation. This was a moment of crisis and confusion for both of them. After months of living in exile, Nyara decided to return to the tribe and ask for forgiveness. She felt that only among her people could she find peace. Edimo opposed her decision, but he couldn't stop her. Nyara, with a broken heart, set off towards the tribe, unsure if they would accept her back. She hoped that the chief and the people would forgive her and allow her to return to her old life. This was a risky and significant decision for Nyara. When Nyara returned to the tribe, she was met with coldness and indifference. No one welcomed her warmly, and everyone looked at her with eyes full of anger and disappointment. She approached the chief and begged for forgiveness. But Chief Moab, with a stern face, told her that his previous decision still stood. Nyara could not return to the tribe. This shattered Nyara's heart, and she realized there was no way back. She couldn't escape the heavy burden of her emotions and wondered if she had made the right decision. Nyara, with a broken heart, returned to the jungle, continuing her life in exile. She felt that she had lost everything: her love, her family, and her identity as part of the tribe. She no longer lived as Nyara, but as a lost woman in the jungle. Edimo, too, was troubled but didn't know how to help Nyara. Their love wasn't what it once was, and both felt that everything had come to an end. This return to the jungle marked the beginning of their tragic end. Nyara and Edimo's relationship completely fell apart. They no longer even looked at each other. Both were engulfed in silence and loneliness, and their love had become a distant, fading memory. Nyara felt that her decision had been a mistake, and she couldn't escape the burden of her guilt. Edimo had lost hope in rebuilding their relationship. He knew that their love had ended, and he couldn't free himself from the sorrow. This was a moment of crisis and uncertainty for both of them. One day, Nyara decided to visit the river where she had once fallen in love with Edimo. She wept for the lost memories and in the end decided to end her life. Nyara drowned herself in the cold waters of the river, and when Edimo found out, he left the tribe and the jungle forever. His heart shattered. The scandal that began with love had ended in a dark and tragic conclusion, one that no one in the tribe would ever forget. The tragic story of Nyara and Edimo remains a lasting reminder of how hidden love and deception can lead to devastating consequences. Their tale, echoing through the Amwanga tribe, teaches that while difficult, honesty is the only path to true peace and unity. Their love, meant to bring happiness, instead brought sorrow and loss, leaving a legacy of lessons learned from betrayal. Was Nyara and Edimo's tragic fate a result of their own choices, or were external factors like social pressures and judgment responsible for their downfall? Write me the answer in the comments. If you like this story, I will be happy to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell and wait for the next video that we will share together. Take care until the next video.